Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today is the fifth and final The Hate You Give theme analysis vlog. So today I'll be talking about the themes that I found throughout chapters 20 to 26, aka the end of the book. So once again, there are 5 themes that I would like to discuss about today, and I'll just be going through each one and talking about it. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first theme is identity and double consciousness. So in chapter 20, Star sees Maya and Hayley standing outside Hayley's locker. Hayley calls Star a liar when she approaches her. Hayley then hands Star 2 photographs of Khalil. The first, said to be the image the news shared. It's what Maverick calls Khalil's thug shot, in which she holds a bunch of money to a camera. The second is from Star's 12th birthday and shows her, Hayley, and Khalil eating cake. Star recognizes what the photos don't show. A poor kid happy to finally have some money in his hands and eagerly eating cake because there was no food at home. Here's a quote of what Star was thinking. Hayley hands me 2 pictures. One is Khalil's thug shot, as Daddy calls it. One of the pictures they've shown on the news. Hayley printed it off the internet. Khalil wears a smirk, gripping a handful of money and throwing up sideways peace sign. The other picture is 12. I know because I'm 12 in it too. It's my birthday party at this laser tag place downtown. Khalil's on one side of me, shoving strawberry cake into his mouth, and Hayley's on my other side, grinning for the camera along with me. The media has chosen to share a less flattering photograph of Khalil in order to support the narrative that he was a thug and deserved to be shot. These 2 images are a physical illustration of the double consciousness experienced by Black characters in the novel. Star can see both Khalil as he was and how the white society sees him. The second theme is community and belonging. In chapter 21, it is Seven's birthday and graduation celebration, and Star invited some of her friends from Williamson Prep, and of course her family from Garden Heights will be there too. Maya and Chris arrive at the party, and Star feels her Garden Heights and Williamson worlds colliding and worries about acting too Black or too white for either group. Things are slightly awkward at first as the two groups greet each other. Kenya introduces herself to Chris and then compliments Maya on her sneakers. Maya jokes about never running in them, and she and Kenya laugh. When Kenya asks where Blondie, aka Hayley, is, Maya excitedly goes into the story of Star's fight, and Kenya and her laugh about it a lot. Much to Star's relief, everyone is getting along. Here's a quote from Star. Chris and Maya walk through the gate, and my stomach gets all jittery. I should be used to my 2 worlds colliding, but I never know which Star I should be. I can use some slang, but not too much slang. Some attitude, but not too much attitude. So I'm not a sassy Black girl. I have to watch what I say and how I say it, but I can't sound too white. This moment represents the inevitable meeting of Star's competing identities, despite her efforts throughout the novel to keep them separate. The group bonds in a large part due to their shared love for Star. As she watches her friends all get along, the double consciousness that has ruled for much of her experience finally quiets for a while. Star is able to stop worrying so much about how others perceive her and simply be herself. The third theme is societal norms and acceptance. In chapter 23, Devante is impressed that Chris knew NWA lyrics. The atmosphere in the card lightens as they try to test Chris to see if he's Black by asking him about certain elements of Black culture. The group make lighthearted fun of stereotypical things white people do, but the mood becomes slightly tense when Chris asks why Black people have odd names. Seven points out that Chris is judging from a white standard, that many of these names are common in Black communities, and that white people give their children strange names as well, but are not considered strange by society. Here's a quote from Seven. Anyways, Chris, Seven says, Devante's got a point. What makes his or our names any less normal than yours? Who or what defines normal to you? If my pops were here, he'd say, you've fallen into the trap of the white standard. White people do not get to define the baseline for normality. Though the specific focus of this conversation is names, this logic could easily be applied to other elements of culture that are taken as normal, but are in fact part of the same white standard. For example, the language Star uses at Williamson is no more normal than that she employs in Garden Heights. It is just more accepted by white society. The fourth theme is the power of language. So in chapter 24, Star is at a protest. Miss Oprah then tells Star to fire her, so that what she does next are the actions of an activist rather than Star's attorney. Miss Oprah leads Star through the crowd towards a police car and hands her a bullhorn, which Star notes is as heavy as a gun. Star climbs atop the patrol car, and the crowd cheers for her to speak. Star says that she is the one who saw what happened to Khalil, and that she wants the world to know that his life mattered. She turns to the cops and begins a chant of "Khalil lived." Here's a quote from Star: "The bullhorn is as heavy as a gun. Ironic, since Miss Ofra said to use my weapon." The comparison between the bullhorn and a gun asserts the weight of Star's voice in this moment. Standing on the same street where Khalil died, Star is no longer afraid and finally fully embraces her power to demand justice. The focus of Khalil's life rather than death further reflects the echoes of Black Lives Matter. And the fifth and final theme is justice. In chapter 26, Star says the world called Khalil a thug, but she will remember him as a hazel-eyed boy with dimples. She will never forget how he died and will fight for a better ending. She's realized that the fight for justice is about more than Khalil. It's about her entire family and community. She then lists the names of real-world Black individuals killed at the hands of police, acknowledging there are many more. She says it's about Emmett Till. People in communities like Garden Heights are starting to fight back. She promises she will never ever give up and never be quiet. Here's a quote from Star: "It would be easy to quit if it's just about me, Khalil, that night, and that cop. It's about way more than that though. It's about Seven, Sakani, Kenya, Devante. It's also about Oscar, Ayana, Trayvon, Rekia, Michael, Eric, Tamer, John, Azelle, Sandra, Freddie, Alton, Philando. It's even about that little boy in 1955 whom nobody recognized at first, Emmett." In the final moments of the book, Star lists the names of actual victims of police brutality whose deaths have sparked nationwide protests against racism and the criminalization of Black communities. Each name represents a person whose life, like Khalil's, mattered. Star has grown greatly as an activist since then, speaking up not only online but in the real world, and here recommits herself to using her voice to fight for racial justice. We have reached the end of this vlog, so it is conclusion time. Like last vlog, all the themes I discussed today are related to Star's identity and growth as a person, a teenager, and an activist. Us as readers start to see her discover her voice and really put herself out there for the world. Since the beginning of the book, Star has grown and changed so much for the better at the end of the book. I'm really happy to see Star accept herself as a person and accept both worlds as a whole. And that is all 5 themes from the book The Hate You Give throughout chapters 20 to 26. I hope you enjoyed all the videos in this series, and until next vlog, bye guys!